Japanese mini-sub. One of the most interesting things discovered in the Pacific Ocean was a Japanese mini-submarine that was part of the infamous attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The mini-sub, which is also known as a midget submarine or a Type A Keihoteki class sub, was one of 5 that were launched from larger mother submarines and tried to enter the harbor and fire torpedoes at American ships. But none of the mini-subs were successful. One was sunk by the destroyer USS Ward before the attack even started. Another was captured along with its crew after it ran aground, and 2 were destroyed by their own crews when they tried to escape. The 5th sub was never found, and its fate was a mystery for decades. In 1992, a team of researchers from the University of Hawaii's Undersea Research Laboratory, HUL, spotted the missing mini-sub in 1,300 feet of water about 5 miles off the coast of Pearl Harbor. They used a remotely operated vehicle ROV to explore and take pictures of the wreck, which was still remarkably intact with both of its torpedoes. The discovery was a significant historical and archaeological find, since it provided new insights into the events of Pearl Harbor and the technology and tactics of the Japanese Navy from that time. It also raised questions about how the mini-sub ended up where it did and what happened to its crew. The mini-submarine is now considered a war grave and property of the US federal government. Its exact location is protected by HUL and NOAA, and access to it is restricted. The mini-sub is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a historic district. 7. Icefish. Icefish have adapted to the freezing waters of the Southern Ocean near Antarctica. They have some special features that help them survive in the cold temperatures, such as clear blood and bones with little pigment. But what makes them more amazing is their breeding colony, which was recently found by scientists at the bottom of the ocean. In January 2022, researchers discovered a gigantic colony of icefish nests that covers an area as big as a small country at the bottom of the Weddell Sea in the Antarctic Ocean. The scientists were on board the German polar research vessel Polarstern, which was using autonomous underwater vehicles to scan the seabed. They found about 60 million icefish nests at a depth of 2,600 feet, each one marked by a ring of stones on the muddy seabed. The nests were spaced out and each had 1 adult icefish guarding them. The researchers were amazed by the size and density of the colony, which they think might be the world's largest fish breeding ground. Before this discovery, they'd only seen up to 60 nests at a time. The researchers guessed that the breeding ground could have had up to 3 billion eggs. The icefish colony raises many questions about how these fish evolved. How did they create such a big and complex breeding system? What are the pros and cons of living in such a packed and competitive environment? How do they deal with predators, parasites, and diseases? How do they communicate and work with each other? Researchers also wonder how the icefish colony will be affected by climate change and human activities. The Weddell Sea is one of the most isolated areas of the world, but is also exposed to rising temperatures, melting ice, and fishing. The scientists hope that their discovery will help increase awareness and protection efforts for this unique and delicate ecosystem. 6. The Gulf of Cambay Civilization. The Gulf of Cambay Civilization is a controversial find that claims to reveal the existence of an ancient city under the sea in India. The discovery was first made by the National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, back in 2000 using sonar and dredging techniques. The site is about 12 miles off the Gujarat coast and covers an area of 94 kilometers squared. The structure and the artifacts of the site are said to resemble the Harappan civilization, which flourished in the Indus Valley from about 3000 BC to 1500 BC. But some researchers suggest that the Gulf of Cambay site could be much older, possibly dating all the way back to 9500 BC. This would make it one of the oldest civilizations in the world and challenge conventional views on the origins of human history as we know it. The Gulf of Cambay civilization has been met with skepticism by many archaeologists who question the reliability of the methods and findings of NIOT. Some of the main issues raised by critics are the lack of proper archaeological excavation and documentation of the site, which makes it difficult to verify the data. The possibility that the structures and artifacts are natural formations instead of man-made objects. The difficulty of dating the site and its materials, especially since wood and pottery can be easily contaminated or transported through water currents. And the inconsistency of the site with other archaeological and historical evidence from the region. Therefore, the Gulf of Cambay civilization remains a highly disputed topic that requires further investigation and verification by qualified experts. 5. Suspected UFO. The suspected UFO in the Baltic Sea is a mysterious object that was found by a Swedish ocean exploration team back in 2011 using sonar. The object is shaped like a disc and measures about 200 feet in diameter. It has some features that resemble ramps, stairways, and walls, and is located at a depth of 300 feet on the seafloor between Sweden and Finland. The discovery sparked a lot of speculation among the public and media, who compared it to a sunken UFO or a portal to another strange dimension. Some even suggested it could be related to the mythical city of Atlantis or the ancient civilization of Lemuria. The exploration team called Ocean X returned to the site multiple times to collect more data and samples, and claimed that they experienced some strange phenomena like electrical malfunctions and compass deviations when they got near the object. But most experts and scientists have dismissed the idea that the object is anything other than a natural geological formation or even a human-made artifact. Some possible explanations are that it's a rock outcrop, a sediment deposit, a sunken shipwreck, or a military structure from World War II. The poor quality of the sonar image and the lack of proper investigation have made it difficult to verify the data. Also, the samples collected by Ocean X have shown no signs of being extraterrestrial in origin. So, the suspected UFO in the Baltic Sea remains a controversial topic that requires more rigorous analysis. Until then, it can only be considered an intriguing anomaly, not conclusive evidence of alien visitation. Do you believe in aliens? Let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. 4. The mystery of ocean holes. Deep in the Atlantic Ocean, there are some strange and mysterious holes that have confused scientists for years. These holes are not natural formations, but instead look like they were made by some kind of machine. They're small oblong cavities that are spaced about 10 centimeters apart and repeat, forming a pattern of lines on the ocean floor. So, what could have created these holes? Scientists have no definitive answer, but they have a few theories. Some think they're the result of an animal burrowing in the sediment and periodically punching chimneys up to get fresh circulation. Others suggest that they're related to volcanic activity or are hydrothermal vents. Some even wonder if they're signs of alien life or sea monsters below the surface. To solve this mystery, scientists are hoping to collect samples from the holes so they can analyze them for DNA and other clues. They want to find out what kind of organism or process is behind these holes and why they're so neatly organized. They also want to know how old these holes are and if they're still actually active or not. The site is just one example of the many mysteries that wait for us in the deep ocean, a vast and largely unexplored realm that covers over 70% of the Earth's surface. By studying these holes and other features, scientists are optimistic that we'll learn more about the ocean's biodiversity, geology, chemistry, and history. They also hope to inspire curiosity about the wonders of the underwater world. 3. The Bloop. The bloop was one of the most mysterious sounds ever recorded from the ocean. It was a loud, low-frequency rumble that lasted for nearly an entire minute and could be heard across the Pacific Ocean. It was detected by underwater microphones, or hydrophones, that were placed by the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) back in 1997 to monitor volcanic and seismic activity. The origin and nature of the bloop were unknown for years and sparked a lot of theories and curiosity. Some people wondered if it was made by some kind of giant sea creature, like a whale or a squid, or even an alien spacecraft. Others suggested that it was caused by an underwater volcano or a military experiment. But in 2005, NOAA scientists finally solved the long-held mystery of the bloop. It was determined to be the sound of an iceberg breaking apart from an Antarctic glacier. They confirmed this by comparing the bloop with other similar sounds recorded in Antarctica and by using satellite imagery to find the source of the sound. The bloop was one of the loudest sounds ever captured in the ocean, and it revealed how much we still don't know about the deep sea. It also showed how powerful and dynamic the natural processes of our planet can be, and how they create sounds capable of traveling thousands of miles through water. It was not the only strange sound detected by NOAA's hydrophones. Other unexplained sounds include Julia, train, slow down, upsweep, and whistle. Some of these sounds have been confirmed as natural phenomena, such as ice movements or earthquakes, just like the bloop, while others remain a mystery. 2. Mysterious stone structure. Underneath the waters of the Sea of Galilee in Israel, there's a mysterious stone structure that's baffled archaeologists for decades. The structure is cone-shaped, made of basalt cobbles and boulders, and weighs an estimated 60,000 tons. That makes it heavier than most modern warships. It also has a diameter of 230 feet and a height of 32 feet, making it larger than the outer ring of Stonehenge. In 2003, a sonar scan of the southwest corner of the sea revealed the first indication of the structure. Since then, scuba divers have inspected it and found no signs of cutting, chiseling, or arrangement of the stones by man. It seems to be a giant rock cairn, a pile of stones that sometimes marks burials or landmarks, but its purpose and date remain unknown. Researchers think that the structure was originally built on land and later submerged by the rising water levels of the sea. They also suggest that it could be over 4,000 years old, based on the proximity of other megalithic sites and ancient settlements close by. Some of these landmarks date back to 3000 BC and are associated with fortified towns and cultic activities. The structure is one of the largest and most enigmatic underwater monuments ever discovered in the Middle East. It poses many questions about the ancient cultures that lived in the region and their relationship with the environment. To answer these questions, underwater archaeological excavation is needed to find associated artifacts and organic material that could offer clues about their origin and significance. 1. Ancient and pristine deep-sea coral reefs. The Galapagos Islands are famous for their unique and diverse wildlife, both on land and in the water. But there's also a hidden treasure under the waves that's been recently located by scientists: ancient deep-sea coral reefs. These reefs are the first of their kind ever to be documented in the Galapagos Marine Reserve, GMR, a marine protected area that covers about 51,000 square miles around the small archipelago. The reefs were found at 1,310 to 1,970 feet under the water at the summit of a previously unmapped seamount in the central part of the GMR. The reefs are built up of cold water corals that form large structures and provide shelter for many marine organisms. The scientists observed a rich diversity of life on the reefs, including pink octopus, batfish, squat lobsters, sharks, and rays. The reefs also host species that are endemic to the Galapagos, meaning that they're found nowhere else in the world. The discovery of these reefs is remarkable since they're in pristine condition and seem largely untouched by human activities. This is rare in today's ocean, where coral reefs are often threatened by climate change, overfishing, pollution, and more. The scientists believe that these reefs have lived for centuries in the depths of the GMR, where they're protected by the strong currents and cold temperatures. The discovery also highlights the importance of the GMR as a conservation area that safeguards not only the iconic species of the Galapagos, but also the biodiversity of the deep sea. The scientists hope their findings will inspire more research and exploration of this fascinating ecosystem. Thanks for watching. Which of these discoveries interested you the most? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel.